which I actually looked up today on the dating website.
Also,
how to tell when a man's into you.
Also, embarrassment is another one.
Embarrassment.
Like, because we were doing something, a couple of things, like where Marty wants to flirt with Ellen, but I'm sorry, I'm mixing characters and real people. When John wants to flirt with Ellen, and sort of doing like, you don't want to say something, but you have to, like doing like a head shuffle.
I don't know if that's any
head
specific
shuffle.
thing. That's really going to come down to your
That's like an aw shucks kind of thing.
Like, I've done a character where whenever he was embarrassed, he'd do this one. I was just trying to break myself out of the woman thing where it might be like touching your neck.
I feel like men bring their heads down, no matter what.
Yeah. So for
like scene.
Yeah. So that's really just an idea of that's really.
That was something I was worrying about for the hug. It maybe it was actually like really good friends or like brothers, but they might just like tap the back of the head when they hug. Or something like that. Like,
I mean,
you're here.
There are a lot of individual choices to make within it. Like I keep saying, these are just guidelines. These are not hard and fast rules, even though I call them soft rules. Okay, now to do arms, and I'm doing a whole section on arms because this is where I struggle the most. The rule is you have no wrists, and that's really what it comes down to. There's a lot of details, but the difference in being a man and being a woman is the difference between this and this. If you're pointing and pointing, if you're gesturing and gesturing, if your wrist is moving, you're a girl. Again, a man on stage can probably move his wrist and still be a man. A woman on stage playing a man, you can't do it, you're going to look like a girl. And like movements like this, anything, the wrist is moving, anything like this, circles, nope, it's just going to look like a girl. So like, hey, anything, nope, hey, just big motion, everything's from the elbow. You can't be loosey-goosey here. Even if it comes to a point where, like, to practice, you put like a piece of cloth around your arm or something, if you find that there's a scene where you get really angry and you keep doing this, or like, no, just that. If you find yourself struggling that, like, and also like talk to your friends and be like, be honest, do I have girl arms right now? The ultimate extra manly thing you can throw on is the fist at all times. Whether it's for emphasis, great thing for men. I love playing men because men can get angry on stage, whereas for women, it's really difficult to show anger as a woman. You can show frustration, you can show upset, but downright anger, it's really difficult. And even women on stage getting angry will do male things, which is clenching the fist, and then the clench goes all the way up the arm into the shoulder. You might put your shoulders back a little bit, like you're caged, like you're ready to spring. Just let the tension go from the fist all the way up to your neck, and you'll feel that anger kind of build up. And then from that tension, your voice will change.
Right.
And so that's something that you can do as a man that's really, really fun. That's really not open to you as a woman. As a woman character, if you get mad, it doesn't do the same. As a man character, it's different. You can get really angry. Or you can be yelling, and it's different. But you gotta come from that fist and the tension. And it's really, really cool. You can't do that as a girl. You can't get angry. You can't make fists that are almost weapons. It's not just a woman making a fist like, ooh, I'm gonna get you. It's a man making a fist like, you better back the fuck off. Like, it's so fun. You don't, it's like the best opportunity to play a whole emotion that's basically discounted from women. Unless they're crying with it, unless they're defending their children who just don't see rage as a female character. Whereas Henry's basically angry the whole play. So if you can feel that tension, I love that feeling. For me, that's my favorite feeling as an actor, is that kind of anger. It feels really good. It can be really cathartic. But, so, yes. And then in hands on hips. So the most feminine way to put your hands on your hips, not a lot of women actually do this, but some do, is to put the fingers behind the back. Yeah. And like the thumb in front. Well, like, there's definitely like a bad back thing going on there, but like this, that's about as feminine as it gets. And again, as a woman, to be more feminine, you're gonna go to the side. So, nope, hands cannot go behind you. The end, not going to happen. You can do this. It depends depends on how confident you feel in your main character. Again,
And higher than where you would put it. Usually women put their hands actually on their hips. You want to go up.
On your man.
And again,
Wait, higher or lower?
Higher, right?
I don't know.
I thought it would be lower, wouldn't it? I don't know, maybe it depends on your body.
It depends on how you're going to put your weight when you do it. Hands on hips is another motion that you do on the stage that you won't always do in real life, that can be hard to know to do it. So in real life, I'm not going to be like, hey! But on stage I might. In real life I'd be like, hey! I'd probably just do something, just whatever. Meh. But in stage everything has to have some sort of purpose behind it. I find usually, I'm not always confident playing a man. It's different. Fists. Again, the manliness of the fist. Fist on the hips, no one's going to doubt that you're trying to be a man. Hand on the hip, there's always the temptation to lean. I find fist on the hips is like reminding yourself that your hips have to be on a level. That helps me. But if you feel confident that you're coming across as a man, or that your character doesn't need to come across as a manly man, whatever else that might be, hands on the hips is fine. Just nothing here, and don't let the weight of your hands on your hips trick you into thinking that your hips are level when they're not. Because I find more often than not, I'll put my hands on my hips and I'll just be like, oh, no, wait. So find something, again, that's further from what you would normally do, because you can't have the temptation to slip into your own mannerisms. Last rules. Don't get high. Literally and also in this sense. This is something that I put on here because this is something, I watched a video of myself playing a man the first time I ever did play a man. And every time I got angry, my voice went like this! And I totally lost the man voice I've been trying for the whole show. Be like, oh, Sally! And then I'd be like, oh, no, that's my voice again. So, men, when they get excited, their voice can go up. A woman playing a man, when you get excited, your voice can't go up. If anything, try to make it go down. Which is why I like to play blustery men, because men who are just yelling, men who are blustering, it's like, oh, I don't even know it. You can get lower. But it's really difficult, especially if your character like yours who has to yell quite often, not to get into the upper register, because your upper register carries. You just through life, you've known the higher my voice gets, the more people will hear it. And then when you want to yell, it's just going to go right up there. So really try, when you yell, to keep it as low as possible, even if it feels really weird. So, let's split up from here, line here, and here. I'll go over here. And this is going to be a variation on a warm-up I like to do. Let's face each other. This is a warm-up I like to do called Hey, Get Away From My Car. That's really a lot more about projection than about voice. But the idea is, you go out into the parking lot, you've got a brand new car out there, probably nothing special for college students, but it's still new. And somebody is trying to break into your car. And your immediate reaction is to say, hey, get away from my car! Except we're going to do it as men. So the way you normally do this projection is to try to get really loud from the diaphragm and yell, hey, get away from my car! But this time I don't want to do it for loudness, I want to do it for depth. So let's try, we'll do one line and then the other line. We're just saying, hey, get away from my car, and then the other line yells it back. Again, let's not scare the residents, but let's just really focus on staying in your lower register and listen to your own voice. And it's probably going to try to head to the top of your throat. So, line one, let's scare the pants off them. 1, 2, 3. Hey! Get away from my car!